Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. As you probably noticed, this is the third consecutive day that I'm wearing a Juve vintage shirt. I admit it immediately, yes, I am in a nostalgia mood. And when I was thinking about the reason why I was that nostalgic, well, probably it's because next week I'm getting even more old than I am today because I'm celebrating my birthday, so it makes totally sense to be nostalgic. On the other side, well, you remember, I told you last Tuesday interviewed Ferrara Di Livio and they brought me back to my childhood. But probably the real reason why I am so nostalgic is that next week, on Tuesday, we are celebrating the centenario della famiglia Agnelli, the century, 100 years of ownership of the family Agnelli. An evening that can only be fantastic, because when you will be able to look at your right, at your left, if you are there participating, what will you see? Only Juventini next to you. That event will breathe black and white, not only in the stands with the supporters that will only be Juventini, but also on the field watching these players that created that fantastic legacy of Juventus. Of course, that game will be important, and I'm trying to make sure that you have also a surprise for the people that are not in Torino, not living in Italy. But I can't spoil too much, so bear with me. From the moment that I can spoil it, I will do it. At the moment, no, but they should be a fantastic surprise for the English-speaking Juventini. I will not say too much, but that event can only be a great one, a fantastic one, if we are able this Saturday to beat Torino in Derby della Mole, because it will be international break after that game. Not winning the Derby della Mole number 157 would be a disaster mentally, because we come from a loss against Sassuolo, a not convincing 1-0 in terms of performance against Lecce, a 0-0 that was absolutely not beautiful, that us Juventini are considering as a loss. So we are obliged, for the mood, for our mental, knowing that then there will be international break and we don't want 2 weeks of negativity. We also know that after international break there will be Milan, that we will play in San Siro. Not winning tomorrow and then going in these conditions against Milan would be a total disaster. I would love that the players are going with that extra mile tomorrow in the derby, that you know it has an important story for all the Juventini. Going and winning that game to stick there with Inter, with Milan, with Napoli, with Atalanta, with the teams that are there looking for that top 4 entry, so that we have on Tuesday, the 10th of October, our mind free to focus only on that big event. So ragazzi, like tutto sport is going with the title, Le Stelle Juve, the stars of Juve are saying, don't mess up the party, and that starts tomorrow. Ragazzi, put a maximum of like if you didn't yet, continue to subscribe, continue if you want to support the channel. You know it's important. Today we'll speak of course about actuality, because the Derby della Mole, fantastic and everything that we want, but unfortunately we don't have only good news preparing that game. Yesterday I had the opportunity to be on Juventibus, and I spoke with Luca Monblano, fantastic person, you know how much respect I have for him. But there was also Andrea Sarrubi, that in the past was part of Il Parlamento in Italy. He was there on the 3rd of October in that meeting between President Ferrero, Giuntoli, Calvo, and the fan club Parlamento del Senato. You know it, 2 days ago I already reported what has been said there in that meeting, but it was just fantastic that I had the opportunity to be on Juventus because he was present, and he even added some things that we were not able to read on the papers, important things. Like for example, one of our first real huge big victory of the season, when President Ferrero on the 3rd of October said in front of all the Juventus fan clubs, the war between Juventus and the organized Tifo, the Curva, is over. We are working together with the authorities, Ladigos, to find a solution to get back the Tifo in the Allianz Stadium so that they can cheer again our team. And since that moment, the things were going, the ball was rolling, because yesterday Maurizio from Around Turin, he wrote the best news. Curva Sud is back. We knew it, they were already back for that game against Lazio, but not only, because this time they will be back with banners, with flags, with megaphones, and with drums. Apparently, yesterday evening, the authorities gave the green light for the big, huge, real support of La Curva, and now they can be there, supporting, freeing up their mind as we did in the past. You know it, how much I cared about it, wanting our 12 men to be there. Safe place, secure place, which is the priority, but having our 12th man, that is so important. And this morning, Drughi posted a post on Instagram saying, attenzione, pay attention, tomorrow, the derby, whoever has a flag bringing on the stadium, because it's time again that we are coloring our stadium. Fantastic news. Not only that was reported by Andrea Sarrubi, but they also continued speaking about President Ferrero, that spoke about that plea deal that we found that we were able, obliged in a way, to do with Serie A, with UEFA, because he didn't want that it took too long. But then he gave also an important sentence that yesterday I revealed in the live with Romeo Agresti. For people that didn't watch it, go back and watch it, because it was really a fantastic hour spent with Agresti. Well, Ferrero said, you know, we are working with human persons. With persons, we have to care for them. They have the mood, mental, and we have to pay attention for that. When we were finding the plea deal, because we understood that we had no chance to defend ourselves, we were also looking for the sporting side, and we have chosen to favor the sporting side, forgetting everything, putting everything aside, so that we could focus again. Because I can guarantee you that it's absolutely not easy when you know that whatever you will do on the field, that you will win, you will draw, that there is the possibility that they will take back these points that you worked hard on the field to gain, that you have that possibility that they are taking it back. Well, as a player, it's a human thing that you are thinking twice before you are going into contrast. Something extremely important, an eye-opener for me, that I even didn't think about it. Why would I go and break my leg for something that maybe next week, maybe at the end of the Serie A, they will take away from us? Hey guys, it was an important one in that kind of way. Today there will be a meeting, I told you, where they will approve the financial books, but there is also the concrete possibility, and more we are going towards that they will speak about a capital increase, 175 million, 200 million, not to go crazy on the market and sign, I don't know, the players that we are speaking about now. I will speak about Mercato at the end of the video, but to breathe again, because we have promised to continue to work on our sustainability, so we have to pay attention, we have to continue to pay attention financially, but to give a bit of fresh air, because we know it, next year, our year financially will continue to be impacted, because next year, when we will look back at the 23-24 season, we will see that there will be that deficit of not playing European competition, and that's why the ownership is thinking to give more or less 200 million euro in a form of bond. So could be great, so that Juventus can really focus on doing what they have to do, working for us. That was a beautiful sentence yesterday said by Andrea Sarrubi. We want to work for you, for the tifosi. And the first answers and the first reaction were the tifosi that will be back from tomorrow with drums, with megaphones, etc, etc. Gazzetta dello Sport is speaking about the Derby della Mole. Vi faccio l'allegrata. Allegri is thinking about that crazy Allegri idea. Why is he speaking about a crazy idea? What is he speaking about? Well, to have possibly tomorrow or a 3-5-1-1 with Miretti behind Milik, or a 3-4-1-2 with Kenan Yildiz from the start behind Moise Kean and Arkadiusz Milik. Crazy idea of Allegri? Yes, until a certain point. For what simple reason? Do you remember the last derby that we played? Out of nowhere, Enzo Barrenechea, promoted recently from the next gen to the first team, he's starting his first game, making his debut in a Derby della Mole that we know how important it is, a player that never played a single minute, that is starting that game, and he played quite well. So seeing maybe the first official debut as a starter of Kenan Yildiz could be a possibility. I don't know if it will happen or not, but pay attention, keeping in mind, why are we going towards that solution? Because unfortunately, My friends, we are speaking about the Federico Chiesa that yesterday couldn't finish the training session. He had to be subbed out, had to leave the field a bit earlier because he had a small problems. Luckily, Corriere dello Sport is telling us Allegri is smiling, Chiesa will be ready for the derby. And if Chiesa is ready for the derby, Yildiz will not start. And that will be a good one because we want Federico Chiesa to play. Yesterday, I tell you, I was extremely anxious when I knew that Chiesa will not be there. Not because I don't trust Yildiz. If I remember well, last season he played a derby with the youth team and we were losing 1-3. He played a fantastic second half where, thanks to a brace of him, we were able to win 4-3. So Kenan Yildiz already showed that he can solve a Derby della Mole, but playing Derby della Mole with the under 19 or playing it with the first team, it's a different story. Why am I happy that Chiesa is there? Because not only Chiesa will be missed, but probably also Dusan Vlahovic. At the moment as we speak, missing 1 or 2 full trainings, we are going towards Dusan Vlahovic missing the 3rd game of the season because he missed Atalanta, he missed the start of the game against Lecce, he played a few minutes, but that's where we are going to. And starting a derby with, we know it, that will be a lot of grinta on that field without Chiesa, without Dusan Vlahovic, that are your 2 best players, would be a total disaster. I want to even add without Paul Pogba, because if yesterday we said it would be the 5th of October, the day of Pogba, I anticipated you, wait a bit, because I'm not sure if we will have the news probably or this evening or probably tomorrow. So it could arrive today, the first answers on Paul Pogba, what will the counter analysis telling us. Yesterday, Gianluca Di Marzio spoke about Mercato and he gave us 2 names. One that was already there as a rumor. His name is Georgi Sudakov, player from Shakhtar Donetsk, and then a new name, Arthur Vermeeren. Try to understand how we are pronouncing it because it's a Belgian player of 18 years old that is playing with Antwerp and they played against each other. Sudakov against Vermeeren. 21 years old player from Shakhtar Donetsk against the 18 years old player from Antwerp. They were playing against each other in Champions League. We know it, Shakhtar Donetsk was able to do a remontada after losing 2-0. They did a fantastic, beautiful remontada, winning 3-2 with 3 crazy defensive mistakes from the goalkeeper. But Arthur Vermeeren did a beautiful game. Did really a beautiful performance. 18 years old player that is playing with continuity because he played 9 games on 9 from the start with Antwerp, so he's a real starter, and also the 2 games at disposal in Champions League. So lot of personality, beautiful player, young. He will not be the solution for Juventus, but he can be also an alternative. If the eyes are monitoring Sudakov, it's not only Juve that is on that player, but also Barcelona. And today we are speaking about the value about 25, 30, 35 million euro. So Juventus is not only going for one option, but they are looking at the Mercato for different options. That was it for me for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I told you a lot of nostalgia. We spoke about Federico Chiesa. Luckily, we are smiling, but we will know more with Max Allegri later today in press conference. I'm not sure if I will be able to do it live. If not, I will do a recap of his words, because probably there at 2 p.m. Italian time, we will really know who will play tomorrow the Derby della Mole, with one objective in mind: winning that derby, to stick in that ranking of Serie A, but also to make sure that we have a fantastic 10th of October with a family of Juventini that are only focusing, only thinking about black and white and nothing else. Grazie, Maximo Fly, continue to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve.